Welcome to the Mount Isa City Council Special Council meeting today. The time is 8:32 a.m. and I now declare this meeting open. Mount Isa City Council wishes to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, the Kalkadoons, and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. But I'd also like to extend that respect to any of Australia's First Nations people in attendance today. Please note, this special meeting of Mount Isa City Council may be live streamed and recorded in accordance with the Council's recording of council meetings policy. As a visitor in the public gallery, your presence may be recorded. By remaining in the public gallery, by remaining in the chambers, it is assumed that your consent is given if your image is inadvertently broadcast. We'll go straight from apologies to number 3, which is declarations of conflicts of interest. Neil?
No.
Nil.
No. No.
Nil.
Nil.
Thank you, councillors. And that takes us to item 4, which is the Executive Services Reports, and 4.1, which is the 2023-2024 Operational Plan. Would someone like to move the officer's recommendation, please?
I'm happy to move, Madam Mayor. Thanks. That Council adopts the 2023-24 operational plan as presented.
Thank you, Councillor Barwick. Can I get a seconder for that motion?
Stratton.
Thank you, Councillor Stratton. Any comments on this one?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. This is a regulation under the Local Government Act to prepare and adopt an annual operational plan. It's to be consistent with the annual budget and state how that the local government will progress the implementation of our 5-year corporate plan during the period and to manage operational risks. So it's quite well laid out there and self-explanatory. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Any other comments on this one or queries? No, all good. Okay. That takes us now to the Corporate and Community Services Reports for item 5. Oh, sorry. All those in favour? And that's carried. Thank you. Almost missed a step then. And that takes us now to item 5, which is on page 29. Yep. Okay. So item 5 is the Corporate and Community Services Reports, 5.1, which is the 2023-2024 annual budget. And am I reading this one out for this one?
That should be in the
For the officer's recommendation?
That's it.
Yep. Okay. So I would like to move the officer's recommendation that Council adopts the 2023-24 revenue statement in accordance with sections 169(2)(b) and 172 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 as presented in the officer's report, and that Council adopts the differential rating categories to apply in 23-24 to land within Mount Isa City Council local government area in accordance with sections 81(1) and 81(2) of the Local Government Regulation 2012 as presented in the officer's report, and that Council adopts rating categories, cents on the dollar and minimum general rates for 23-24 financial year as presented in the officer's report, and that Council adopts utility charges for 2023-24 financial year as presented in the officer's report, and that Council adopts a separate charge for the 23-24 financial year on assessments. This will be described as an environmental charge. The amount of the environmental charge will be $71 per annum per assessment in accordance with Section 103 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 and Section 94(1)(3) of the Local Government Act for 2009. And that Council adopts the interest is payable on overdue rates and charges from the day of rates and charges become overdue and will be calculated at 8.17% per annum on a daily balances as compound interest in accordance with Section 133 of the Local Government Regulation 2012. And that council adopts the total value of the change expressed as percentage in the rates and utility charges levied for the financial year compared with the rates and utility charges levied in the previous budget in accordance with Sections 169 of the Local Government Act of 2009. For the financial year of 23-24, the change is 3.86%. And that council adopts the 23-24 statutory budget documents comprising the statements of income and expenditure, statement of charges in financial position, statement of cash flows, statement of charges in equity, and relevant measures of financial sustainability in accordance with Section 169 of the Local Government Regulation 2012. And that council adopts the 2024-2033 long-term financial forecast in accordance with Section 169 of the Local Government Regulation Council 2012, and that council receives and accepts the 2022-23 significant business activities in accordance with Sections 18, 19, 20 and 169 of the Local Government Regulation 2012. And that council adopts to not apply the Code of Competitive Conduct for its business type activities for 23-24 in accordance with Section 39 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 and Section 47 of the Local Government Act. Given the level of expenditure in the business activities and the little or no competition for the services provision, council sees no public benefit in applying Code of Competitive Conduct at this time. And that council receives and accepts the 22-23 estimated activity statement in accordance with Section 34 of the Local Government Regulation 2012. Can I get a seconder for that motion?
Second, Barwick.
Thank you, councillor Barwick. Do we have any discussion on this?
Madam Mayor, I'll just note that the 3.86% rise is something that we've really worked hard to achieve, and I'd sort of like to thank the administration for really fine-tuning the expenses across the organisation. We need to remember that the current inflation rate is probably double that. So I think this is very responsible and very, would be welcomed by the community for the year. So thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Any other comments before we vote? Okay, all those in favour? And that's carried. Well, that now brings me to my budget speech. And good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to present the 23-24 Mount Isa City Council budget for adoption. This budget embodies Council's vision for progress and well-being of our community. It recognises affordability pressures. It also reflects Council's strategic priorities and lays the groundwork for a brighter future for Mount Isa residents. In the 23-24 budget, Council is proposing to put forward a 3.3% rates increase for average residential properties compared to April 23 inflation rate of 6.8%. Council is also proposing a 3.6% increase in water access and consumption charges, and a 4.8% increase in sewer charges and a 5% increase in waste charges. Overall, for residents, this means a 3.86% increase on rates. To help our aged pensioners and pioneers, Council will be increasing the council pension concession by $88. So it's from $85 per year to now $160 per year. This will be on top of the $200 per year state government rates concession that pensioners already receive. For the 23-24 financial year, Council is expected to have an operating revenue of $71.86 million and an operating expenditure of $71.74 million. Council has allocated 46 million towards capital works. Of this amount, 20.59 million is funded by grants revenue from the state government or federal government, and 21.19 million is for new projects. Of the total capital works budget amount, there is 10.11 million on roads renewals, 7.78 million on water and sewerage, 950,000 on parks and reserves, 15.1 million on environmental and regulatory services, 9.58 million on community facilities, and 2.5 million on mobile plant replacement. In Camberwell, Council will be spending 400,000 for the water treatment upgrade. Council recognises the importance of investing in the city's infrastructure. A well-planned and maintained infrastructure network is crucial for the efficient functioning of our city and for its comfort for residents. Council also recognises the importance of good governance and financial responsibility. We are committed to transparency and accountable decision-making processes. The budget reflects Council's commitment to sound financial management, ensuring that ratepayers' dollars are utilised efficiently and effectively. This budget sets the stage for a strong and sustainable future for Mount Isa. It encompasses our strategic priorities of infrastructure, development, sustainability, and good governance. As we move forward, Council will work tirelessly to implement the initiatives outlined in this budget and listen to the needs of our community. And will continue to prioritise asset management, the improvement of service levels, and the preservation of a strong cash reserves. I would like to thank the Mount Isa City Council staff who have done a great job putting this budget together. Would any councillors like to move the motion formally that the 23-24 Mount Isa budget for adoption, which we've already done? We missed a step. All right, thank you very much, councillors. Now that brings us to the end of this special meeting, and the time is now 8:45 a.m, and I now declare this special meeting closed.